Wow, thank you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And again, Sherry, a big thanks to you for really providing this platform. Also, Daryl with In Touch News to providing the technical platform for this show. We are honored to be part of this, and absolutely, absolutely look forward to making good contributions in terms of information, in terms of bringing on success stories to the show, to the program, and sharing information to basically help people be better business people, help people and inspire people to start and grow their businesses. So Sherry, again, thank you very, very much for giving us the honor and privilege of participating in this fantastic show. So thank you much.
We thank you. And here's what I'm so excited about. And we've had guests on our show. I'm telling you, we've had guests from all over the world. And that's the beautiful thing about a platform like this. And we have been providing, as we celebrated our 4th anniversary last week, information to help our businesses survive. One day we'll look back and see all of the connections that were made as a result of Let's Talk Business, because we have not only that, others that have been inspired to want to create and do their own podcasts. Some started right here with us on In Touch News Radio. And that's what excites me the most. But today, to have a company like Business Plans Plus come in and talk to one of their stars, and we get to hear how the collaboration got started and where it is today. A success story. So, absolutely. Rodney, that's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. Hey, just a bit about, just to share with the listeners who may be with us for the first time, just a little bit about Business Plans Plus. We're basically business consultants. What we do are primarily business plans, loan proposals, just a host of things, grants, a host of things to really, really make businesses successful. We've been in business now for going on 7 years. And the impetus behind that is that we spent a lot of time in previous positions, previous roles in corporate America, making other people pretty successful. And a lot of those people did not necessarily look like us. And one of the things that is the foundation and core for starting Business Plans Plus is to help move the needle, help close the wealth gap that we see in America between people of color and majority populations. And so with our commitment to doing that, to closing that gap, that was really the impetus behind the founding of Business Plans Plus. We have been very, very successful in terms of helping clients as it relates to putting together their business plans, getting organized, putting thoughts that are in their head, putting that on paper in the form of an actionable plan. And we've been doing it for 6-7 years, and we're really, really proud and excited that we're going to continue to do that for the decades to come, particularly led by our new CEO and president, Ms. Sydney Moore. And Sydney, of course, comes to Business Plans Plus with a tremendous background in both sales and marketing and management and leadership. She's a graduate of a Florida school, Florida A&M University. That's the School of Business and Industry. That school was led primarily by Dr. Mobley. By Sybil Mobley, and Sydney is a product of that. And we're absolutely, absolutely lucky to have someone with that level of talent in our organization. So given that it is Women's History Month, I think Business Plans Plus has made history of their own by having the first president and CEO being an African-American woman. The other part that's so significant about that is that if you take a look at the Florida landscape, I just saw an article in Florida Trend. There's an article that talked about the number of new business startups in the state of Florida, specifically along the I-4 corridor. And the numbers were just amazing to me, that of those small business startups, 65% of the new businesses starting in Florida were primarily absent, or 65% were African American females. And that has me excited because that really, really talks to you and provides proof statements for those of you who are on the fence and thinking and considering looking at starting their own business. There's just a bunch of trailblazers, like our guest that we're going to bring on in a second. Just a number of trailblazers who've actually kind of endured and learned from the school of hard knocks and learned what to do, what not to do. And they've actually owned and operated very, very successful businesses. So I'm really, really looking forward to today and having an opportunity to hear from people who have been there, done that, like our honored guest today.
Well, thank you so much. And it is Women's History Month. We like to say her story. And you shared with us a little bit about Sydney, who will be joining me each first Wednesday of the month. It's Women's History Month. We celebrate you, Miss Sydney, and we turn the microphone over to you. What would you like to share on this historical day?
Thank you so much for having us here again today. I definitely wanted to start off by saying that I am excited for this series that we will be doing on the first Wednesday of every month, where we will be highlighting different businesses here so that they can promote themselves, become aware. I'm honored to do this, and I'm actually honored to even bring our clients on to do this. When we talk about Wanda here, you'll see she started off as our client, and we're just so happy that she's here to join us today to tell her story. I don't want to give out too much about her now, because I want to leave more for her to speak on, but I am extremely excited about this and this platform and just the goals that we are preparing for Business Plan Plus and our clients moving into 2023 and for the future to come. We have a lot of great plans involved with hosting more workshops. We actually have a workshop tomorrow via Zoom, and I can send you over that link as well. It's about how to create an effective capability statement so that businesses can do more interaction with the government and different entities of that nature to get more business for themselves. So that's just one that we have coming down the pipeline tomorrow. We're doing our pitch competitions where we're helping our clients with funding opportunities. I know I mentioned that last time I was on, so I'm mentioning it here again, March 28th. Sorry, March 28th, we are doing our pitch competition for that, for our clients as well. That is open to the public. You can find the event out on Eventbrite as well. So those are just some things that I'm excited about, and we have more to come. Each month we'll have a new client on to talk about their business and promote themselves. I'll always tell you of more workshops that we're doing because we're hosting them now. We're scheduling them out to host them at least once a week. That's all beneficial to business owners that we recommend they take advantage of so that they can be another success story like our client here, Wanda.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Sydney. And I know, Wanda, what a perfect segue for us to just go ahead and share with our radio listening audience. Who is this woman who has made, is making, and will continue to make her story? Wanda Barton, and that's B-A-R-T-O-N, independent business owner. She's a Floridian. Yeah. Grew up in Polk County, Florida. She has been in the cleaning business, are you ready for this, for over 30 years, known for delivering high quality services, strong revenue and profit gains in highly competitive markets that made her one of the fastest growing business owners in South Florida. Listen, you deserve an applause for just that alone. Solid experience and select strengths that encompass territory management, key account development, self-training, and team leaderships. If you're taking notes, those are the components to success. With over 15 years of extensive background in marketing, business development, operations management, and advertising, my heart consistently reach revenue and sales goals, bringing a high level of productivity, profitability, leadership, and passion to your organization. Welcome to the show, Wanda Barton. Congratulations to you as we hear more about her story.
Yes, and Wanda, before you speak, I just want to make this announcement because I'm very proud of this. Wanda has also been announced as the 2022 Florida Woman Business Owner of the Year, and the U.S. The SBA South Florida Women of Business Owner of the Year, Woman Business Owner of the Year. So I just wanted to say congratulations to you on here. Make that announcement for the world to hear as well, because we are super proud of you.
I really appreciate it. And I'm so happy to be here today to speak to you all. And, I have to always give my thanks to Business Plans Plus. They are a part of my success. And I was so happy to find them because they were there at the time of need, I tell you. So, I'm happy to be here, and I'm here to answer any questions that you all may have for me.
Well, I'm going to jump in with one question first. How did you find Business Plans Plus?
Okay. I was actually looking for funding, and I had went out to Suncoast, which is one of my banks, my institutions, and I was talking to one of the bankers there, and I was telling him, I wanted to apply for a loan to actually complete my salon.
Okay.
And when I went there, I was, I filled out all the paperwork. I did everything. I had all the financials. I had all, I had the credit. I had everything. There was one thing that was missing, and that was a business plan. And of course, that's something that you have to put a lot of thought into. And when I was speaking to the banker, I told him, I said, well, I'm not from here. I say, but I've been here now going on like 9 years, and I don't really know anyone here that does this, that would actually be able to do a business plan and turn it over that quick. And I say, and I explained to him, I have everything that they would need to do this business plan, so it wouldn't be hard for them to actually put it together. But I am very busy right now bidding and also working to try to keep my construction going on my salon studio. And he said, I have a number for you. And he gave me a number to a young lady. I don't forget her name. That young lady, she linked me up with Rodney. And from there, I sat down with Rodney and Sydney, and it's been a blessing ever since. They did my business plan. I love it. I still have it. I still use it. I'm sure I'm going to need some updates. But as far as the business plan, I loved everything about my business plan. It was amazing. It worked. So, now anybody that asks me, I always try to explain to them that, sometimes we don't have to talk. We can let the business plan talk for us when it comes down to trying to obtain a business loan and get funding for business. Because sometimes we may say things and it may jeopardize us. So sometimes you allow that paperwork. You sit down with professionals like Sydney and Rodney of Business Plans Plus and let them, put everything together for you. And you just pass in that business plan. And that helps. It helps a lot. Sometimes you don't realize that, the bankers are listening for things that really can stop you from getting funding. They don't want to just give that funding like that. They want to make sure that you are going to be solid and you are trustworthy of having those funds, and you have ways to pay them back. And I think it couldn't be more of a blessing to just have Sydney and Rodney.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. How does that make you feel, Rodney Jones?
Yeah, I'm almost speechless, which is rare. But yeah, I will share this. When I first met Wanda, Wanda has been in business for a lot longer, but prior to her connecting with Business Plans Plus, and has been a successful businesswoman, who runs a multi-million, you heard me say it, I'm embarrassing you, Wanda, who runs a multi-million-dollar business. I want that to sink in. Wanda was successful prior to us meeting her. We were helping Wanda just get second stage financing as it relates to Extremely Clean. And here's the thing, Wanda made it so easy for us. Why? Because she was already prepared. Everything that we really needed to put together her business plan on paper, Wanda already had. So these were really easy conversations because Wanda had all the information. She understood her business. She understood her numbers. We talk about that a lot. She was so well organized. When I met with Wanda for the first time, I almost fell out of my chair. Basically, Wanda gave me the information. I said, thank you very much. And went back and just basically transitioned the information that she had provided me, financial statements, income statements, profit and loss, everything, to basically put together her plan. And it was really, really clear that Wanda was a consummate professional. I could see also that she was a great leader because she managed a pretty big workforce that reported to her. And you could tell, because when I would meet with her in the morning, she'd be there kind of giving out assignments, et cetera, to some of her subordinates to go and execute. So I was extremely impressed with Wanda from the first time that we met. So Wanda, thank you for helping us help you and helping us position you for the future. And we really, really appreciate, I really appreciated some of the early meetings that we had where I learned about you and your business and your challenges. And subsequently, not only are we business partners, we are friends for life.
Absolutely.
Oh, Wanda, that must make you feel amazing. Well, let me say, after listening to Rodney and reading all of the credentials that I received from you, I totally understand why you received the Woman of the Year award for your business acumen, for just being able to run the business the way you run it, but not with one entity, with two entities. And when we, in this arena, in our community, this is what we need to hear.
Yes.
And this is what we need to see. I heard you said, when you said to the banker, I have all of my information, I just don't have it in a business plan format. And to have Rodney come back and concur, blown away, this is a true testament to you. And it's something that we as business owners and those who are listening in, when Rodney and I decided to do this with Sydney and put this platform together so that we can further educate people, but let them hear the stories of how they got to the point, because you'll hear people say, well, I don't need a business plan. I've been in business for 20 years and I've never written a business plan. Let's go this route so that you can better prepare yourself for funding. And that's just, and not just local funding with your community bank or the bank that you do business with, but if we've learned anything, and Rodney may speak on this later, or Sydney may speak on this later, when we have catastrophic situations, occurrences that come like we had with the pandemic or with any of the hurricanes. Living in Florida, you're going to need a contingency plan because you've got to be able to sustain yourself, whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, or with the pandemic, 2 years. How will your business survive? But we've talked a little bit about it because we were so excited, but let our radio listening audience get to know just a little bit about Wanda and who she is. And we're going to hear more when Sydney comes and talks to her about her business. But we'd like to ask, who is this woman? Tell us about her wisdom and what about her work? So I just want to delve just a little bit, Wanda. Who is Wanda? You know, what are you most passionate about? What led you to this point? Because entrepreneurship is not easy. Let's just see what things excite you, what makes you happy. Tell us a little bit about Wanda, the woman?
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off in 2013, when I had when things were not at my greatest. Okay, when
Okay.
I really I was more like at the bottom. You know, perfect to say. I start to ponder on what I do best. And I'm all I've always been this person that I always grind. I always believed in business. I always, always had a lot of energy just for business and just to be able to provide and be independent. And um, I realized, I say, well, I want to do something in business, but it has to be something that I love doing. And I know there's a lot of times when I started stressing, I would turn to cleaning up. It was more therapeutic for me to do so. And I say, I'm going to turn this into a business. I think I could be very successful at a cleaning service because this is what I do at my best. 2013, I formed my company, Extremely Clean Janitorial Service, the only owner of the company, and currently the only owner. I won't say if that's going to be like that, within the next 5 years, because I have definitely spreaded my wings to do other business ventures. I started Extremely Clean and I fell in love with what I was doing. It really took my mind off a lot of things. It took my mind off of stressing about, money. As long as I was doing something, working towards what it is that I really needed to get to, I was fine. So if I stayed out and I worked all day, I was the first owner of my company. And I did that for about a year, and then I brought on another staff who was actually one of my tenants. And we worked together for a while. And I just, after that, I said, that's when the foreclosure market was real, there was, it was really big back during those times. So I was doing a lot of foreclosure. And cleaning foreclosure was not easy. We ran into all types of, hoarder houses and things like that, but nothing. And I mean, nothing was, I wasn't against cleaning anything. I just wanted to clean. I didn't care what it was. I just loved cleaning. It was my passion. And I did it at my very best. So with that being said, I just, I continued to, if a cleaning job came up, I did it. I didn't turn down anything. I did it. I didn't have pride, all that. I didn't have any of that. I just knew that I was going to complete the job and I was going to be paid for my work because I knew my work was going to be very satisfactory, and I knew the customer would love whatever it, would love it. So I continued to get these, foreclosures, and then the foreclosure market started to decline. And I said to myself, let's put it like this. After that started happening, I said, I'm gonna go and try and get me some contracts, cleaning contracts, because I wanted to keep the people working that I had brought on through the foreclosure. Okay. I said, I don't really know I never written a proposal or did any contractual work. I started asking around, and I would go downtown Tampa and I would see all these, cleaners.
Yeah. And
I'm like, oh my God. I said, I don't see very many of us. I used to always say, I don't see very many of us cleaning these, these good big down here. And I always wondered why. And I used to say, I would love to have one of these contracts. I would love to know how to get contracts down here. I had SBDC explain to me, where you can go and start. You have to be certified. They'll give you the rundown of what it is that you need to do. You would need to be certified. So I started, getting all of that out the way. I started, I filled out for my certifications, got approved, and I literally won my first contract with the state of Florida. And it was right online. That was my very first contract. And in the office that I'm sitting in today, this was like my second contract. And I remember coming in here, talking to the property manager at the time, and I kind of gave her a rundown of, I'm a small business, cleaning business. I love what I do. And me and her immediately, we just kind of meshed real well. And I didn't know she was going to call me. And she called me and she told me to, give her a quote for cleaning. I gave her a quote, and it was just for one-time cleaning. I cleaned one time for her, and I'm still here. After 8 years, I'm still here in our office. And still clean. I don't clean, but I have staff here that cleans. And she loved the job, still loves the job. I ended up starting bidding with the city of Tampa and different municipalities, city of Clearwater, just was doing a lot of different bidding. First, I didn't know how to bid. Let's talk about that. I would go in and I would go to these bid meetings, these pre-bid meetings, and I would be sitting in the pre-bid meeting and I'm just listening because I didn't have anyone to kind of give me instructions or, guidance or anything like that as far as how it really works with, the solicitations, the pre-bid meetings. But I learned that you have to go to the pre-bid meetings. So, everything I learned through trial and error and being at those places where those contracts were actually being talked about. I got comfortable and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really know what they wanted to bid. And I just started bidding. The first few times I didn't win, but I felt good. I was submitting. I was at that point where I was submitting, and I'm sometimes I'm so organized and I want to be so perfect about things. I kind of, would say, okay, well, I don't like how, I don't like the look of how this, this sound and things like that. So I just would go back and forth. But when that day came to submit that bid, I had no other choice but to leave it like it was or change it and get it turned in. And I did it, and one day I just hit, and from there I realized that I wasn't doing such a bad job. And that was my first time hitting on my proposal. I really didn't have nobody to show me, what they, how a proposal should look when you're submitting it to these municipalities for contract. I just started writing, and I would write against whatever it was that they said he needed, and I just wanted to have everything to be so perfect. And I would tell myself, I have to just stop. Let me just write it. They may see that I may be writing where it's so over perfect. So I just started writing and submitting these proposals, and every time I submit a proposal, I always put more into the proposal and to make it look even more better. And each time I would say my proposal was shaped up a lot better than that time before. And I went from there, and I was able to start employing and provide jobs throughout the community. Now that and it really was
awesome.
So
that's awesome. Well, Wanda, that is phenomenal. And hearing you say that resonates with me, but it sends a potent message to those who are listening and maybe listening later. Don't give up. Go with what you know. Sometimes trial and error is the best way to challenge and tackle something. And as I listened to you, I read your capacity statement. I was blown away. And if this is the work of Business Plans Plus, we need to go back to the drawing board, because this capacity statement alone would say to any corporation, this is the one. This is the one. Now, Sydney has a lot that she's going to dialogue with you in just a moment, but I believe if there's any certification, city, county, state, Wanda, you have earned them all.
Thank you.
You have earned, no one has to wonder, no one has to ask, no one has to go and look you up. It's there. Detailed, date, time, awarded. It's all there. Sydney, you have the mic.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. But Wanda, me and you have this conversation all the time or often, and I know that you know what I'm going to speak to you about, but I want the audience to know, and I want to share, I want you to share this message with them, and I want you to talk about your transition to from extremely clean of following your passion, but then really taking on that entrepreneur spirit and moving on to other ventures that you've entered in. If you would like to go ahead and share your story with De Dior Salons and how that started, and just what was the signs for you to say, okay, this is running smoothly, I'm ready to take on another adventure. And you started this one from the bottom as well. So you've basically built two businesses from the bottom, two totally different businesses. How did you do that? Why did you do that? Tell us more about that.
Well, after being, after growing extremely clean janitorial service and always made a positive, return, great cash flow, good revenue, I came to myself to say one day that I want to get into another business. I want to start another business. Because, as extremely clean grew, of course, we all know that you're bringing on more staff, right? And y'all know that can be, even though it's good, we're helping, others and things like that. It can be a lot. It can be a lot. So I love business. I love doing business, and I say, I'm going to continue growing this business. I like I love the whole thing with having this business and being able to employ people of the community. And a lot of times people, they come here for a job as a second job. We all know the economy we're living in right now. It's not easy. Some of us are holding 3 or 4 jobs. It's tough, round the clock work. But with me being in extremely clean, and it grew, and which was, always been a blessing for me. It became the mother of what, of every, for the other. I actually have 2 other companies outside of extremely clean, but we're talking about De Dior, okay? What I started doing was my first venture was I went into started buying land and building houses and selling them. And I didn't do it here in Tampa. I didn't do it where I was from because I wanted to just develop. If I did it in Tampa, I hold it. If I did it in Polk County, I hold. I keep it. I don't want to sell it. But I did it in St. Pete. I would buy land and I would, get the house built, and I would sell. And after doing that, of course, now, everybody's pretty much doing the same thing of developing. I said, well, I need to get into another business. And that's when they came about, in which I still do that. I have 2 houses right now that's on the market right now in St. Pete. And I'm just waiting to get the CO, which I should have that in the next couple weeks. De Dior, that came about. I was at a salon one day, and I'd never been to one of the salon studios. I heard about it, but I never went to one of these studios. And it was a salon suite. And when I went there, I was like, wow, I like the concept. So, I like the concept, and I picture in my head, if I did one of these, how it would look. And I don't have to worry about staff managing. I don't have to worry about staff managing, because in a business, we all know that can be a real tedious task.
Daunting task.
Yeah, daunting task, because there's a whole lot come with it. And I said, okay, well, I want to try one of these. I want, I want to do my research and see if it's something that, could be profitable. I did it around a time where it was like, the end of COVID, kind of in between COVID. And I found a location, and I went for it. I got with a contractor, did some, consulting on it, and I started that business. I literally had a contractor to go in, do the build out, and and now it's done. I got my CO. I'm open for business in 31 units. And I
Did you
have,
say 31 units?
yes, a 31 unit salon studio out in Carrollwood.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's in a very good area. It's, it's very nice. I love it. I love it. So,
Wanda, what?
Sydney, can we ask Ricky, since she's talking about it in 31 studios, can we ask Ricky to show us what the inside of Dave Dior looks like? 31 salon. Look at this.
Yes, yes.
I love it.
It says welcome. It says come in. It says I will cater to your, wait, what?
No.
Your own lingerie?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Wow.
Right. So this is, and of course, I don't do hair. I love getting my hair done, but I don't do hair. But I thought it was a great concept where, you could, you can be the home of some people.
Wanda, Ricky, could you go back to that other screen, because that other image, I was trying to see, as I'm in the studio, am I now looking out to perhaps a reception area?
Yeah, well, the reception area does, it have like a waterfall in it. So it's real nice. And, it's definitely open up to the outside, the front glass pane. You can see, very clean windows all the way around, on each side of the parking lot. So it's definitely a nice view.
Is this a reception area we're looking at now?
No.
What area is this?
That's the area that I kind of changed this up a little bit,
Okay.
So, yeah, this is kind of changed up here somewhat.
That's absolutely beautiful though, but we can still see in.
Mm-hmm. You can still see in.
Wanda,
Awesome.
what advice do you have for others who get discouraged because they see someone else doing it, right? Because you went into a salon studio and saying, I like this concept, and you did it. But most people would say, oh, someone else is already doing it, so I don't think I could be successful at it. What advice do you have?
I would say, you never base your success on anyone else's success. If you just know that they're successful, you could be successful as well, and just as successful. You must believe in yourself first and foremost. And if you don't believe in yourself, that can be one of the things, one of the reasons you probably won't be successful. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your dream. You have to believe in what it is you're doing, and you have to put a work behind it. You have to put that work behind it. And if you don't put work,
yeah, as a follow-up to Sydney's question, what would you characterize as your top 3 challenges in terms of launching Dior Studios?
Well, number one, it was funding. I never, which was, when I came out of, with Extremely Clean was like built from scratch, I would say. I built that company literally and grew the revenue. Grew it financially strong. When it came down to Dior, it was a little bit different, because now you got to put money into this company to get it going. Yeah. Okay, so that's a major difference, where you built something from ground up, and now financially you don't need that that much finance, because you're building it from ground up. I remember putting $25 in my bank account. Anybody will give you a cleaning job. Anybody will give you a cleaning job and you make money, right? It's just that you need to know how to manage and know what to do with the money that you get. It may be a small amount, but if you keep doing it, and one thing I will always say, you can't have any pride when it comes to cleaning. Mainly if you're the only, it's your company and you believe in yourself, in your company, you got to get in and clean it. And you just continue to grow the funds. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. You know, there's no spending. You know, you just got to, everything that comes in, it has to come in and support the business, not you almost. And I hear a lot of people say, no, you know, you always should get money off of what you do. But if you're really, first you want to, you know, support that company, because that company is going to be what's going to support you. And that's how I always talk. You know, if I continue to take money away from that business and always trying to figure, you know, always worry about me being supported, you know, that's something that I'm taking from my business, and it can kind of hinder the growth.
If I can just amplify that important point for the listening audience. What you guys heard Wanda just say is that she was reinvesting her money in her business. Throughout my years of experience in my previous roles, where you heard me at the beginning talk about making other folks rich, the mistake that many of them made is that when they thought that they had made it, they stopped reinvesting in their business. And subsequently, when they would hit an economic downturn or didn't have a contingency, as Sherry talked about, in terms of if something occurred, because they weren't reinvesting in their business quickly, as successful as it was, it quickly died because they were not reinvesting in their business. So Wanda, kudos to you, because that's really been your success model, particularly with Extremely Clean, which has enabled you to grow Extremely Clean to where you can invest and start Dior. So fantastic job.
Thank you. You know, and also, you know, now Dior was the one, that's when I had, you know, I needed you all. I needed Business Plan Plus. When it came to Dior, for sure, you know, I definitely needed you all to actually start going out for funding. Never had any funding, you know, no, there was never any funding for Extremely Clean, you know, previously. And in order to get Dior up and going, I had to have funding. And that's when, you know, of course, the banks, it's kind of hard to build that relationship with some of these banks. You may have been banking with a bank, I don't care, 15, 20 years, but there's a lot of building relationships that you're going to need in order to get this funding. Right. And I would always say, start now. Start now. You know, don't wait. Do not wait. And that was one of the hardships that I think I had, because I had to build relationships and I had to build them quickly, which I could have already established these relationships, and it probably would have been a lot easier. Because if these underwriters and bankers don't know you, they can see money all day long going in and out of your account, but they want to know that you have a relationship. They want to, even though they're seeing those financial statements, 11/20s, see everything's looking good, they're going to want that business plan. Yeah. They're going to want that business plan, a good business plan. Yeah, they want to see all of that. So, you know, when you go in, you want to have all of that to provide to them. You want to furnish those things, because, you know, that's the only way, you know, to be able to get into a business like Dior. You know, and I would say the second thing, go back to your question, some of the challenges, one of them was, you know, choosing the right contractor. You want to make sure. Some of us, we go and we look for the cheapest. You know, don't always look for the cheapest when it comes down to certain things, because in the construction world, when you get cheap, and I'm the type of person, I'm very particular. If you go and pick a contractor with a very low price, just know that there's not a lot of money in there for good material, quality materials and things like that, furnitures and things like that. So you have to be very mindful when you're choosing. I know a lot of people like to stay on the low side, the very low side, but you have to be very careful with that. Also, you also still have to be careful altogether with whatever contractor you have, because it's just the world. You know, some of them going to actually try and, you know, take away as much as they can, you know, if it's open to do so. So we have to be, you know, always stay close and pay attention, you know, and try to pick out and pay for as many things as you could. on your own.
Yeah.
You're doing major projects.
Now that's different. That's a different piece of advice. Try to pay for most of that on your own. Sydney, I
Yeah.
know you've got so many more questions for Wanda, but go ahead, Sydney.
Well, no, I want Wanda to finish with the third things. I know Ronnie asked for 3, and I think this is important for the listeners to know.
Awesome.
Yes. After establishing and opening the business, one thing you want to make sure about, let's say one of the challenges is now you got to get it marketed. You got to get that business marketed. You got to get those, those business owners in all those doors, and that's with any company. Even with Extremely Clean, I had to have customers. With Dadiora, I have to have those business owners. So that comes with marketing. It also comes with a lot of experience, and that's where Business Plan Plus actually can help in that area too. So those are the 3 challenges. But like I say, mainly funding, making sure that you are able to get funding, especially if you're going out to do a major project or starting any size company. If you don't have the funding, but you do have a good business plan with all the right financials and great credit, it makes it a little bit easier to obtain funding.
Yeah. Wanda, if I can just ask a question, Sydney, and just allow me. And I think this is kind of important because you talked about it earlier. What gave you the confidence to know with all of your businesses that you could compete? You don't look at yourself as a Black business owner, right? You look at yourself as a business owner because if you look at your target audience, they're not primarily African Americans. So what gave you, at what point in your career path did you get it that your target audience was everybody and not necessarily focused on African American consumers only?
If you have anything that needs to be clean, and I know I was good at, I know that I'm great at cleaning, I know you'll be happy with my service. Yeah. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter the business. If you use a cleaning service, I know that I could be the business that rendered that service for you, and I know you would be happy. Because I know it was my passion. I know if I came in and I did it, I knew you would be extremely happy. And that's basically how I came up with that name, Extremely Clean. Yeah, so.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sydney?
Stuff.
Great stuff.
Yes. Great stuff. Great stuff. So Wanda, tell us, now that you have this platform, we want to open it up to you on this platform to tell us, what do you need from the community for either one of your businesses? How can we help you?
I would say when it comes to Extremely Clean, what I could, the community. There are times when I'm, even with what I'm doing, because I bid on a lot of government contracts. So when it comes down to the government contracts, I had a young man the other day that came in for a job. He had a charge of a minor marijuana charge back in 2006, where he got denied to work in one of the city locations. And I don't really quite get that part, because I do understand that a lot of these governments use people that have already, that have been, in the system to literally work. But then they it's like they'll pick and choose who they approve and who they deny. And I don't think that's, fair. I don't think it's fair. And he sat here about an hour and he was like, that is so old. And I say, well, you could go down to the police department and I'm sure you probably could work that out. And I just think I don't get that part. So that is a challenge sometimes when you have people that is serious about working, they have made a mistake, great people. And, you can't even employ them if one of your positions could be like, with a municipality that says, hey, I want to deny that. So that's and that could be an issue. But some of the same locations, they have people with backgrounds working for them as temps.
Absolutely.
And but they won't let these small businesses use them. And I do get it, but there are some that you have to. How are we gonna make a change for some of these people? How are we gonna make a change for people that really can't find a job? So that was a case that sometimes could be the case. That kind of have me thinking like, wow, I go down. I tell them go downtown.
Go downtown. Listen, we were talking about all of the certifications that you have, and you did it your way. God bless you to have not had a mentor. And I love the way Rodney says you were successful. You had all your ducks in a row even before you met Business Plans Plus. And for you, Rodney, to be so candid and honest, I appreciate that, because it lets us know, even if you think you have it all and you've got all of your documentation and information and your profit statement, everything is together, you can still help them and help them get to that next level. And really, that's what this show is all about. Rodney and I decided, and Sydney decided, when we were going to do this platform, we wanted to be able to bless a business owner. May not be where you are, Wanda, but we decided that we would give away one of the Business Plans Plus consultations. And I love that you said that it was going to be time for you to probably get your business plan updated. Listen, I know how it works. It's already in your contract. You just need to give them a call and get it started. So Business Plans Plus starts with you. They're with you along the way. And you even get to come back to them when it's time for your business plan to be updated. And life happens, things happen, and you want to make sure that you keep it up to date. So we are going to, now you all are having a program tomorrow. Sydney, is it pre-registration? Do you know who the attendees are going to be?
I don't know who the attendees will be, no.
Okay. Because we have this opportunity. Let's talk business with SJC and Business Plans Plus. We want to award a business the opportunity to experience what it means to have a business plan developed by Business Plans Plus. So as we come to the end of our show, it's there. We challenge you, if it's on your schedule, if it's not on your schedule, Sydney is going to send us the information. We will put it out in our thank you post. It's virtual, so you can join. We're going to make this opportunity available. We're telling you about it on the show. Go sign up. Let them know why you should have Business Plans Plus. Write your business plan.
Right.
And win that. And hopefully one day you'll get to meet Wanda Barton. So we want to make that accessible to them. If you're listening in and you hear this offer, please like their page. Go and send them a message. Say, how can I participate in your virtual workshop on tomorrow? I need that business plan. So here's an opportunity for you to communicate virtually with them. Use your Facebook post. Go and like their page. Put the comment out there so that they can see it. But we want to take this opportunity to say thank you.
Thank you.
Wanda Barton, you are a phenomenal woman. You are Women's History Month. We decided that this show was going to be called Boss Lady, Her Story. And if you don't have your book written, girl, Boss Lady, Her Story is it. What you have shared with us definitely needs to be packaged up. And being a marketing guru that you are and marketed, so that your story is your brand. Thank you for coming to share with us. What we received from you today is what people pay thousands of dollars to go and hear someone say.
That's right.
We value your work. We value value you're welcome. We value your experiences. And as we are about to wrap up, I want to give you final thoughts. We will be back on next Wednesday.
Sure,
I'm coming back to you, Sydney.
Okay.
No, I'm going to come to you. I just want to get my little commercial in. We will be back on next week with Dr. Shanae Davis. We will have multiple guests coming on because it's also Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah, so final thought from you, Wanda. We'll segue to Sydney and then to you, Rodney. Wanda, you have the mic.
Oh, I'm just so happy to be able to tell my story, and hopefully I inspire many out there that's willing, that's planning to go and start their own business. Just know, once you start, don't stop. Believe in it. Believe in it. Don't stop. If you continue to believe, you will receive. With many blessings. So don't give up. Just keep going.
Give up. Sydney?
Yes. Quick question that Wanda has to answer, because I know you have 31 suites. Are they still open? Do you have some availability open? Can business owners come and rent out your suite? I did want to touch on that before we close, on how we could help you with filling up the Dior Salon. Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's opportunity to get, to help assist with getting it filled. Yeah, they can definitely, go over and look at the suites there that's available. If they want to come through you, if they want to come directly through me, they can always go on the website, and there's the contact there on the website as well. But they could just reach out to, me, or, I can figure out a way that we can connect and take them on a tour. Hopefully they'll, have a nice home for their business.
Yes. So for any entrepreneurs that's listening, if you are, Wanda, hair, nail, lashes.
Right. Hair, nails, lashes, estheticians. We also have I have a guy in there that's a tattoo artist, and he mainly tattoo a lot of celebrities. He does their tattoos. I have,
awesome.
So we have some great people already getting a lot of the suites, and I'm just happy with who've already decided to, be a business owner of Salon, business owner there within Salon Studio.
Yes. So if you are in need of a home or location for your clients, please contact Dior. You can go to their website or contact Wanda to possibly use that as your location home.
Right. And we will make sure that we post for both businesses, Wanda. We will post that information to make it easily accessible to anyone coming back, looking at the show today, or watching the replay. Rodney?
Yeah, I'll just end with this. Wanda, thank you. It's an honor working with you, as I said earlier, but all the other stuff I want to share with the listener, two points. Number one, you heard me talk earlier about the growth fueled by African-American females in the state of Florida along the I-4 corridor. A testament to you, Wanda, because as you guys know, we're research-based. Your company, Extremely Clean, when you take a look at and you measure it only by revenue and number of employees, i.e. the number of jobs created in the community, you are in the top 5% of owned businesses in the state of Florida. So thank you. It's a benefit to the community. It's measurable. People can see it. So Wanda, thank you for what you've done in this community in terms of creating job opportunities for folks in our community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love working with you.
I really appreciate it. And I'm just happy to be able to provide the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Wanda Barton. Extremely Clean, Dior Salon Suites. Thank you to the CEO, President, and thank you to the chairman of Business Plans Plus. You have been watching Let's Talk Business with SJC. This is the first hour of the show. A special thanks to DJ CEO and In Touch News, to those of you who took your lunch break with us, who will catch the show later. This show is a wrap. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.